Now for Top Story Night, reaction from two liberal lawyers. Joining us from Los Angeles, Tanya Acker. Here in the studio, Jami Floyd, who also works on True TV. All right, now, I was libeled by two newspapers, the Post, the LA Times, Denver Post, LA Times, and legions of other people. I'm famous, so I can't hire you to go in there and sue on my behalf because I would lose, and I understand that. That's the law here. But the spirit of the attacks on people, that is a violation of my rights. They're trying to hurt me for my speech. What say you?
Disagree entirely. First of all, you're right. You couldn't. Well, you could hire me, but you would lose because you haven't been libeled. Libel is very specifically defined in our law, and calling someone a bigot, quite frankly, is not libel. But in terms of the spirit, I hear where you're coming from. I would die to defend your right to speak, right, Bill? But that is not a constitutional right from criticism by others, whether you're a public or a private
citizen. The difference between criticism and attacks is the difference between, and I disagree with you, libel is basically saying something untrue about another person. Ms. Ostro couldn't back up any of her statements. She can't point to anything.
She should.
Okay, stop. Jamie, she can't. It's not a matter of should. We gave her the opportunity.
The law
she
is
couldn't.
very specific about
I don't care
what
about the law.
Is.
My rights were violated here because they tried to punish me for my speech, and it's happening all over the place.
The First Amendment protects us from government action that would violate our right to speak, not from discourse, however ugly it might get, amongst citizens.
Then the next time somebody is fired, they can't bring a thing, any kind of an action at all. See, look, if I were a minority and they couldn't do this to me, and you know it, Tanya, if I were African American like you are, and they started to do all this kind of stuff, I could kill them. And that's my point now. White Americans, Miss California, all these people, their rights are being violated, the spirit of their rights are being violated by these unbelievable attacks, personal attacks.
I think there are two issues here, Bill. One, there's an issue that's bigger than the legal issue, and I do think that we should be able to have a discourse about these very difficult issues in a civil way. But secondly, whether or not white Americans are somehow now being subject to more persecution than everybody else,
well, they don't have the recourse. They don't have anywhere to go.
They have you.
But here's but wait a second. But here's the other issue. A few years ago, when people thought that Mickey Mouse became too gay, the right wing, they had a very vigorous boycott of Disneyland. When SpongeBob Squared is too gay, they boycott that. They employ all of the same mechanisms. They boycott people.
I said that in the talking points memo that there was some of that on the right, and there is, and you're right about that. But pointing out bad behavior in one group and saying it's okay because that's in the other group. Look, you're well aware, Tanya. You're well aware of Charlize Theron and her crew out there. You live there. You know what they're doing. All right, and it's wrong. It's flat out wrong.
No, what they're doing is saying that we are all going to stand up for the rights of gay and lesbian Americans.
They're attacking people.
Hang on a second.
They're attacking people who disagree with them in very personal ways. That's what they're doing. Don't dodge it.
I'm not interested in any personal attacks, but by the same token, I do not think that people who are victimized by discrimination have to sit down silently and take it.
Issue.
I'm not interested in name calling. I'm not interested in name calling.
Do you see the fact that you and Tanya, both very smart women, will not criticize Charlize Theron, the Los Angeles Times, or these other crews
first of all,
that deal in this? You will not go after them.
I don't think we can lump the news media together with the entertainment media.
Why not? They're doing the same thing.
I've been hearing from childhood that there's a left-wing conspiracy. There's a right-wing conspiracy.
Deal with what I said.
There's no conspiracy.
Deal with what I said, Jamie.
I agree with you,
I just gave you examples.
Ad hominem attack has no place in democratic dialogue.
Thank you.
But it is not legally actionable. You have not been libeled. You have not been slandered. And you know how it is,
You know
Bill.
I've been libeled,
if you dish
and
it
you
out,
know I've been.
You gotta be willing to.
Wait a minute, hold it.
But
I don't dish it out. Wait, Tanya, keep quiet. I don't dish it out, madam. I don't do that stuff. Don't sit here and say I do.
That is what some folks would say. You've got a bully pulpit. They're just trying to step up.
Wrong. We don't do that here.
They're just trying to step up and meet you at the point.
There's a time to be a decent American and stop this nonsense, and both of you are enabling it by making excuses for it. But I want to tell you, you guys got a lot of guts to come on here, and we always appreciate debating with you.